All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Our first interview is defensive lineman Fatorma Mulbah. Questions for Fatorma, Greg?
So, Fatorma, to start with Saturday, in just playing a team you just played for a couple years ago. So, what was that like, and the positives and negatives of what you saw Saturday?
Yeah, obviously Penn State's a good team. Positive I'll take for the game. We play with high effort. We gotta do better up front. It started with us owning it. We didn't play good as a D-line overall, and we take ownership for that. And yeah, just gotta affect the QB more. We didn't do that. Some alignment issues, we gotta fix that this week. But yeah, overall, we just gotta do better.
Up on the affecting the quarterback more. When you did get pressure in the pocket, it seemed like tracking down their quarterback was a little bit more difficult. Were the problems there just in the transition of getting off a block, when that guy turned into a runner?
Yeah, we're gonna get back to work and try to put more pressure on the QB and get after him. We have plans to do that, and we're gonna be ready for Albany.
Just to get a good taste back in your mouth.
What was that?
How big is this week coming up, just to play better and start feeling good about yourselves again?
Yeah, we just got done watching film on Penn State. Gonna put that game behind us. I haven't watched film on Albany so far, but from what I hear, they have a really good O-line, a really good team. So we're gonna go back to work this week and try to be 1-0 this week. That's the whole goal.
For you and your position group, would you say it was more of maybe what Penn State did or catch you off guard, or what you guys didn't do?
Obviously, Penn State got a good team. We had some alignment issues we got to fix. But yeah, it's just little errors that we made put us in a bad situation. But yeah.
What did you do during the rain delay? I mean, how do you try to stay actively kind of engaged in the game, but also try to relax a little bit too?
Yeah, we had a good plan. Coach Mack did some stretching and stuff, and just get that blood flowing, because we didn't know when we're going to be up, and just a little band stretch and stuff like that to get going when our time is ready, when we're ready.
Watching the tape, what were your takeaways from last week's game?
Like I just touched on, mostly just little errors that we made up front. From what I've seen from the defensive side of the ball, little errors like alignment issues, some communications issues that we had, and all that stuff gonna get fixed. And that's the biggest takeaway and the improvement we gotta make for upcoming weeks.
When you say alignment, was it the things that they were doing, the motioning, things like that? Were there eye candy things that they were doing that got you out a little bit, or?
Not so much of that, just our attention to details, I would say. We gotta be more detail-oriented, I would say. But yeah.
How do you recapture the emotion that had built up to that game, and and then obviously leaves after you lose the first game? How do you recapture that emotional edge?
I would say Coach Brown did a good job of keeping us steady. We wasn't too high, too low. We had a good plan, and we're ready.
After losing a game like that, by a score, that was not close, how do you how did the night go? I mean, how do you get that out of your head, or is it good to get it out of your head?
Obviously, it sucks to lose. Nobody want to lose. But yeah, it's just a learning lesson from week one. Playing an opponent like Penn State. Usually teams start out with playing not teams like Penn State, but playing opponents like Penn State, you're gonna get that good looks. So went back after the game, came in on Sunday, watched the film with a couple D linemen, and we saw what everybody saw, and take away from that, and we try to get better this week moving forward.
Okay, let's go through your story a little bit. When did your family move to the U.S.? Why? Where'd you initially settle, and then how'd you get into football?
All right, so moved from Liberia, West Africa. 2014, we moved to Hershey, PA. We won a DV lottery to get our family all year, and I have my uncle living in Hershey, so we settled in Hershey a little bit, and then moved to Harrisburg, PA, where I played most of my football there. But how I got into football was mostly my head coach. They didn't know anything about football. Went into school, and he saw me. He's like, "Yeah, you playing football," and it took off. So I guess that worked out good.
You guys are kind of going for 1-0, or this week. Is it easier with a veteran defensive lineman room to kind of flip the switch and turn things around?
Yeah, we have a good leadership, and we gonna go back to work and put this game behind us and try and play the good team that year is UAlbany this week and try and be 1-0.
I'm very familiar with Penn State. Anything they did Saturday that surprised you or caught you off guard?
I would say they hired a very good offensive coordinator, and they did a lot of shift and motions and stuff like that. And playing teams like that, you really got to be details on your keys and reading your man and knowing what they're doing and what your man is doing, and not focusing on making plays, just playing the little details that you're getting out of the old lineman. That was about it.
You mentioned winning the Visa lottery, to get your entire family over here. All the highs, celebrations, all that kind of stuff in sports. I've got to imagine that was as much of an emotional reaction as anything else. What was that like when you learned, hey, we can all go?
Yeah, so in Liberia, my dad worked for the Coast Guard a little bit, so how it works was whoever won the lottery got to come here, and he took the step forward to get our family up here, so I appreciate him for that. And it was around that time there was Ebola. I don't know if you guys know. So getting my family down here was a big step forward for us, and not having to deal with that. So that was huge, and just the opportunity that you have in the U.S. is unlike no other. So very appreciative for that.
Was that like a phone call or a letter or what?
Oh yeah,
How did
it
you
was a
learn
letter. It was a letter back home. You get to know if you won, but yeah.
That's a big trip.
Yeah.
What went through your mind going to a place you probably didn't know a hell of a lot about?
I know, yeah. Obviously, when you get to move and transition to your own country or something, it's tough. But yeah, it was a good adjustment. I like it here.
What kind of impression did you have? Because obviously, back home it wasn't quite the same as here.
Yeah, I remember I was around 12 years old when I moved here. I remember on the plane, just looking out the plane, seeing all the lights. We landed at JFK Airport, seeing all the lights in New York, and I was like, yeah, let's go.
You go to Hershey, it smells like chocolate. There's an amusement park. You must have thought America was amazing.
It smells
right?
like chocolate.
Yeah,
it smells like chocolate.
Wow, this is America. This is great.
Yeah.
What was the first week, month, year like?
We came around October, so it was starting to get cold. It was a good first impression of the U.S. Came to Hershey, out of other places went to Hershey, but it was great, man. Like I said, the U.S. got a lot to offer, so a lot of opportunities, and yeah.
Didn't have an amusement park, or didn't smell like candy, and all like that, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you played I'm guessing football or basketball back home, right?
Soccer.
Soccer.
Soccer,
Okay. My
yes.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah,
Apologize.
soccer.
That football. Basketball would have been big too.
Yeah, basketball was
Did you
big
wrestle
back
in high school?
Yeah, I wrestled in high school for a year or two.
Was that anything that you were aware of before you came to the States?
No, it was just something that I tried to stay in shape with for football, and just power level and stuff like that, leverage, stuff that I knew that I had to work on. I knew wrestling was going to help with that.
So your introduction to football, what did you think of the sport early? Were you any good from the outset, or did it take you a while to sort of develop?
First off, I didn't know anything about football when I was back in Liberia. I didn't even know what the sport football was. But yeah, Kimmy had to learn everything. My high school coach did a good job of teaching me football, I would say. And I had to learn. I wasn't good when I first started. Had to learn from scratch and get better and work towards it.
I'm sure you still know people back in Liberia. Do you explain to them playing football?
Yeah,
it all?
Yeah, they catch, my family watched the game back home, my uncle. So yeah, they learning the game. It's not so huge back there. So yeah, they trying to learn it as much.
At all?
No,
You've never been able to go back?
no.
Okay, then you decide to transfer, go to Penn State, a few years there. Was it difficult to decide to transfer, and ultimately why'd you pick West Virginia?
I pick West Virginia because of the culture that we have here and the coaching staff. Coach Jazz recruited me up from James Madison when he was there, so having that relationship already was huge, and not so far away from home, like 3 hours drive from Harrisburg. So that was a huge part. Having my family being able to come to games and watch me play, that was a huge part. Huge part of my decision because I'm like a family guy. So that was huge.
How long did it take you to feel accustomed to being where you are now?
Uh,
America and the person you are?
yeah. It was a big adjustment. I would say. Had a lot to learn at a young age, and just how stuff is, yeah. But coming in here, it was an honor. Like the guys accepted me in here, and with open arms and good relationships so far.
Did you instantly kind of recognize that you were good at football, or like did that take some time for you to kind of realize that?
Yeah, it took some time with hard work and stuff, and my coach helping me out. I didn't just come in and got good at football. I had to work towards it, and scrum training. Spend my off season with my scrum coach, with my high school coach, and just little details and stuff like that to get better at football.
Do you remember that first time it kind of all clicked for you?
I remember my first play so vividly. I think it was a sack or something. I had no idea what I was doing. They didn't know any technique or something. Just put me in there, yeah.
What would you say exactly makes you better now than when you first started getting into football when you were at Penn State? Like, what exactly makes you better now?
Obviously, when you play more games and more snap, you get accustomed to what teams doing because most teams run the same stuff, and just watching film on your opponent, like you get to understand football more and why teams are doing what they're doing, and I would just say film study. That's something I've added to my game so far for the past year or two. Just watching more film and understanding what the offense trying to do and why O-line block the way they block.
Family still all lives in Hershey?
No, we live in Harrisburg.
Oh, that's okay, Harrisburg. So, what's your dad do? How many other members of your family live in Harrisburg now?
So my dad is a truck driver,
Okay.
and my mom is a nurse. And I have 2 younger brothers, and yeah.
They play football?
Yeah, they play football. They play football.
What high school up there?
My brother go to Trinity. Trinity is a private school down in Camp Hill.
Did you speak English when you got here?
It was like broken English. It wasn't like American English, but yeah, I speak English.
Is that hard to get used to speaking the language? You may have had a rudimentary understanding, but was it hard to become proficient at English?
Not so much. Just cause I hang out with a lot of friends and stuff. Yeah, it wasn't so much hard.
Okay, anything else, Fatorma? All right, thank you very much.